Where you are right now in this journey, who you are, what you're doing, where you are in terms of the place that you are in the world, the things that you're doing, your education level, your finances, everything about you is all because of everything that's happened before. So everything that you've done in your life, everything that you've thought, all the choices that you've made, the decisions that you've made have led you up until this particular time. And what happens to you from here on out, what happens in your journey from now on is completely up to you as well. And I'm talking about that from two different perspectives. The first perspective is when you stop drinking alcohol, it's just the beginning of the journey. It's just, it's not something that you have to do as an ongoing process. I keep saying this with the stopping drinking and say it's the simplest decision that you have to make. All you have to do is say to yourself, look, do I drink or do I not drink? End of story. That's the decision, to stop drinking alcohol. Once that's done and over with, then you have to start dealing with the structure of the habit, the structure of everything that got you to where you are right now. And there's a lot behind that. That's why people find it so difficult, because they don't understand. They pin everything onto the alcohol. They look at the alcohol like, well, it's the alcohol's fault that the alcohol has caused all this to happen. The alcohol is just a tool. And until you understand that stopping drinking alcohol is a thing that can happen in an instant once you make the decision. And then you switch your focus and you start to move away from alcohol. That's why we have a 6-month transition period within our program, because you need to break down the physical things that you're doing, or the physical things that you were doing. But mostly 90% is the thinking, the systems of thinking, the structure of your thinking. And not break that down like it's something that that you can dismantle. It's a different direction that you need to go. It's a different direction that you need to point your mind. Different lessons that you have to learn. I mean, there's certain things that you have to unlearn, but you unlearn by learning other things, if you get what I mean. You can't forget how to do something. That's not the whole point. The second reason why what happens when you stop drinking is completely up to you is because there are many roads that you can take. You're standing at the beginning of something which is completely up to you. It's an unwritten book. It's the chapters that are waiting for the rest of your life are blank, and it's up to you what you put on those pages. And they don't have anything to do with what's come before, except if that's the way you make them. So you've got the potential for doing so much. You've got the potential for being so much. You've got the potential for changing so much in your life, changing so much about what you do, and changing so much about what you think, changing so much about who you are. But that potential is only going to be realized if you put in the work, and if you say to yourself, well, I'm leaving alcohol behind. This is one of the biggest reasons why I don't like the AA or any of those groups, is because people are still talking about the fucking alcohol years after they've stopped, decades after they've stopped. There are so many things that you do in your life that you change and you move away from. When you're a kid, when you're a baby, you shit your nappy. You move away from it, and it's a phase that you go into, and you go out of it and you transition into something else, and there's no staying in the same self. So it's exactly the same thing here with alcohol. You're moving into something else. You're moving away from alcohol and into something else, and you're transitioning. It's a journey of transition, and you cannot move on if you don't go through that transition. You can't transition if you keep focusing on the thing that you used to do. It just makes no sense whatsoever. It's just nonsense. And it's holding so many people back, keeping so many people from realizing their full potential, because they've got this this monster on their back for the rest of their lives, that there is something physically wrong with them, that they're an alcoholic, that that there's something physically wrong with their genes, that they're diseased. What a horrible way to go through your life. So I don't do that, and we don't teach that. So what we teach is that what you do after alcohol is up to you. Nothing to do with anything else. The direction that you take, the thinking that you do is completely up to you, and you can do so much. When I look back at the almost 10 years since I've stopped drinking alcohol and look at the things that I've achieved, look at where I am now to where I was starting out on this journey, go back and look at that first video just to see me as a person is just unreal for me, and it wouldn't have happened if I hadn't have changed the way I think about things. So look, I'll leave it there for today. I'm Kevin O'Hara for Habits Unplugged. We help people to stop drinking alcohol, to move the fuck away from that thinking, move into something else, forget about the alcohol, leave it in the past, and start living the best, the funnest, the happiest life that you can live. And it's all down to you. The potential is there, you just have to reach out and grasp it. Take care of yourself, and I'll speak to you again soon. Onwards and upwards. Bye now.